Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling, well, a really complex and fast-moving topic. The future of Korean Peninsula unification. You see the headlines, but we want to go further, uncover some surprising shifts and maybe some potential that's often missed.
Yeah, our goal here is really to unpack the challenges, sure, but also the genuine opportunities. We're using a pretty comprehensive report to help you get truly well-informed on something that honestly affects more than just the region. It can impact the whole world.
Okay, so let's start with something huge that just happened. 2024. North Korea suddenly declares South Korea one of two hostile states. I mean, that's a massive reversal after 70 years. They're essentially ditching traditional unification goals. What's behind that?
Well, it seems like more than just tough talk. The report we looked at suggests it might be North Korea sort of acknowledging defeat in the long run, the unification competition, against the South's success. So it's a strategic pivot for regime survival, maybe, solidifying their own separate identity, even building new border walls. They're basically rewriting their own story.
Right. And while the North is doing that, there's this parallel shift happening in the South. Public support for unification, it's really dropped. Lowest since 2007, apparently. Only about 37% see it as necessary. And younger people in their 20s and 30s, they're focused much more on the practical side, the potential cost, the social disruption. They increasingly see the North as, well, just another country.
Exactly. And that points to a widening psychological gap. That old one nation idea, it seems to be fading. It's being replaced by a more pragmatic, maybe even skeptical view. People aren't seeing the personal benefit, which is a real hurdle for any future unification efforts. They need to address that concern head on.
It's interesting to look at history here, too. Like, Germany unification mostly worked because West Germany was so strong economically, but even they had huge social costs, right?
They did. Huge costs.
And then you have Yemen, where it failed because the integration just wasn't deep enough, leading to civil war. Korea's separation feels deeper. The war left huge scars, and the economic gap is just immense. South Korea's GDP is, 17 times bigger?
17 times, yeah. It completely dwarfs the German situation. That comparison really highlights the scale of the challenge. Some estimates in the report for rapid unification. They put the cost at up to 2,300 trillion won. That's about 2.14 trillion US dollars over 30 years. Wow. Which works out to maybe 6.5 to 12% of South Korea's current GDP annually.
That just sounds crippling, an astronomical cost. But this is where the report flips the script a bit, doesn't it? It suggests reframing that cost, not just as an expense, but maybe an investment, a temporary one for permanent benefits.
Precisely. That's the key idea. The potential upside could genuinely reshape the global economic map. Imagine a unified Korea climbing the ranks, potentially becoming, say, the 7th to 12th largest economy globally by 2050 or 2060. We're not just talking regional influence here. That's a significant shift in global economic power.
And the resources angle, too. North Korea is sitting on vast mineral wealth. Estimates range from 1,000 up to 7,000 trillion won, including the world's second largest deposits of rare earth minerals. You combine that with South Korea's tech and capital.
And North Korea's large labor force.
Right. Could that spark a whole new manufacturing boom, kind of like the potential we saw glimpses of at the Kaesong complex before it shut down?
It could. There's huge global demand for those minerals and a unified workforce.
Yeah, it could feel a massive industrial comeback. Plus, think about logistics. Connecting to the big transcontinental railways, Trans-Siberian, Trans-China. Suddenly, the peninsula isn't this geopolitical island anymore. It becomes a major hub linking Europe and Asia. That unlocks totally new trade possibilities.
Okay, so economics aside, there's the huge challenge of actually integrating the societies. Geopolitically, too. Decades apart have created this really deep psychological divide. It's not just about merging governments or economies. No, it's about people. Genuine psychological integration. That's crucial and often the hardest part. It's maybe the most overlooked challenge. We could look at the 30,000 or so North Korean defectors already in South Korea as a sort of microcosm, a living model. Yeah. You see success as the first lawyer who was a defector, for instance, but you also see the ongoing struggles. It shows we need really comprehensive, tailored support, not just money.
They really are a living laboratory for what unification could look like on the ground.
Absolutely.
And then geopolitically, a unified Korea would sit right in the middle of the U.S.-China rivalry, a strategic hub. That would require incredibly skillful diplomacy, wouldn't it? This multi-layered diplomacy the report mentions.
Yeah, definitely. The goal wouldn't just be to navigate that rivalry, but maybe even help shift Northeast Asia away from conflict.
Mm-hmm.
towards cooperation, which presents this really powerful vision, right? Korea potentially becoming a model for regional cooperation and peace. That would fundamentally change things in a critical part of the world.
So bringing it back to you, our listener, what's the takeaway? Unification isn't some impossible dream, maybe, but it is a deeply complex, evolving situation that needs careful planning and a clear vision for the future.
Yeah, to sum up, success isn't just about the political plans or the economic blueprints. Critically, it hinges on building real public buy-in, bridging those deep psychological gaps between people.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. How might a unified Korea, using its new economic strength and geopolitical position, how might it not just transform the peninsula itself, but actually reshape the global balance of power and open up new opportunities all around the world?